It was 3:42 a.m. when the cameras caught something I can't explain. I wasn't supposed to be watching them that night. The security office was quiet, humming with the low buzz of fluorescent lights and outdated monitors. I worked night shifts at a half-abandoned office complex, 5 floors, most of them empty. My job was simple: watch, log, and don't fall asleep. That night, I almost did, until camera 12 flickered. At first, I thought it was just interference. The feed showed the 3rd floor hallway, long, grey, lifeless, a place no one used anymore. But then the image stabilized, and someone was standing there. I leaned forward. There shouldn't have been anyone in the building. The figure wasn't moving, just standing, facing the camera. I checked the time again, 3:42 a.m. Probably a trespasser, I muttered, grabbing the radio. But something felt wrong. The person wasn't shifting their weight, not scratching, not pacing, completely still. I zoomed in. That's when I noticed their face wasn't clear, not blurred, not hidden, just wrong. Like the camera refused to process it. I swallowed and switched to camera 11. The hallway leading up to that spot. Empty. Camera 10. Empty. Back to camera 12. The figure was closer. I froze. I hadn't seen it move. My heart started to pound. Okay, maybe I missed something. I rewound the footage, frame by frame. Nothing. The figure didn't walk forward. It just skipped, like it existed only when I looked. I sat there, staring, trying to make sense of it. Then the radio crackled, but no one spoke. Just static, and beneath it, breathing, not mine. I slowly turned back to the monitors. Camera 12 was empty, gone. I exhaled shakily, leaning back in my chair. Just stress, I whispered. Then camera 3 flickered. That was the security office hallway. I turned slowly. The real hallway outside my door was silent. But on the screen, something was standing right outside, facing in. I couldn't see its face. The doorknob behind me twitched. Just once. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The monitor flickered again. Now the hallway was empty. I stayed frozen for what felt like hours. When morning finally came, I checked the footage. Every camera log between 3:42 and 4:10 a.m. was gone, deleted, except for one still frame, printed automatically by the system. It showed the security office from inside. I was sitting at the desk, watching the monitors, and behind me, something stood close enough to touch my shoulder. I quit that job the same day, but sometimes, when I wake up in the middle of the night, I swear I hear static and breathing right behind me. The first time I heard it, I thought it was my neighbour. Hello. It was faint, muffled, like someone speaking through layers of concrete. I had just moved into the apartment, a cheap place, thin walls, the kind where you hear everything, so I ignored it. Until it started calling my name. Erin? I froze in the kitchen. I lived alone. I pressed my ear against the wall. Silence. Then, can you hear me? The voice wasn't coming from the next apartment. It was inside the wall. I stepped back slowly. Nope, I muttered. Not dealing with that tonight. I turned on the TV, raised the volume, drowned it out. But over the noise, I still heard it. Erin, please. That night, I barely slept. The next day, I asked the landlord. Yeah, walls are thin, he said, barely looking up. Old building. But it sounds like it's inside the wall. He paused, just for a second, then shrugged. Probably pipes. I wanted to believe him, I really did, but that night, it got worse. Erin, you left me here. I dropped my phone, my chest tightened. I don't know you, I shouted at the wall. Silence. Then, you will. The voice changed, deeper, closer. I backed away, heart racing. I started noticing things after that. Cold spots in the apartment, scratching sounds behind the walls, and sometimes A second shadow. Not always. Just in reflections. Standing slightly behind me. Watching. I stopped sleeping. Started recording. One night, I placed my phone against the wall. Left it running. The next morning, I listened. At first, nothing. Then, my voice. "I don't know you." I felt my stomach drop. That wasn't from that night. That was from days ago. The voice replied, "You will." Then something else. A sound I hadn't heard before. A dragging noise. Slow. Heavy. Like something moving through tight space. Then, breathing. Closer. Closer. And finally, a whisper. Right into the microphone. I'm almost out. I packed my things that day. Left everything else behind. Furniture, clothes. Didn't matter. I just needed out. As I was leaving, I noticed something on the wall, near the floor. A crack, small but fresh, like something had been pushing from the inside. I didn't stay to find out, but sometimes in new places, I still hear it, faint, through walls, calling my name, and every time, it sounds closer. The file wasn't supposed to exist. It had no case number, no officer name, just a label. Do not review. I found it during a routine archive audit. Old police records, dusty boxes, forgotten cases. This one stood out immediately. Inside, photos, reports, audio transcripts, all from the same address, a small house on the outskirts of town. The case summary was short. Subject reports repeated intrusions. No signs of forced entry. Investigation inconclusive, but the details, they didn't make sense. The homeowner, a woman named Seelin, had called the police 14 times in 2 weeks. Each time, the same claim. Someone is inside my house. Officers responded, searched, found nothing. No broken windows, no missing items, no evidence. Until the final call, the transcript was attached. I still remember reading it. Operator, 911, what's your emergency? Seelin, it's back. Operator, ma'am, what is back? Seelin, the thing in my house. Operator, are you in danger? Seelin, it's learning. There was a pause. Operator, ma'am, Seelin, it knows where I hide now. The call ended abruptly. Officers arrived 6 minutes later. The house was empty. No signs of struggle, no blood, no trace of Seelin. But they found something. In the bedroom, a camera, still recording. The footage was included. I shouldn't have watched it, but I did. It started normal. Seelin, sitting on her bed, terrified, whispering to the camera. It only moves when I don't look at it. My skin crawled. She turned the camera toward the doorway. Nothing there. Then she looked back. It's getting closer. Her voice shook. I can hear it breathing. The camera trembled in her hands. Every time I blinked, she stopped, frozen. Her eyes widened. Slowly, she turned the camera back toward the doorway. Still nothing. But I noticed something. The shadow. It was longer, closer. She gasped. It's right there. The camera dropped. The footage went dark, but the audio continued. Footsteps. Soft, deliberate. Then, another voice. Her voice, but calmer, emotionless. Stop looking. Silence. Then dragging. Then nothing. The file ended there. No conclusion, no body, no explanation. I tried to submit it for review, but my supervisor stopped me. That case doesn't exist, he said. I showed him the file. He stared at it. Then at me. Then back at the file. Put it back. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the footage, about what she said. It only moves when I don't look at it. At 3:42 a.m., I woke up for no reason. The room was dark, silent, but something felt wrong. I didn't move, didn't blink, because deep down, I knew. If I looked away, even for a second, something in the dark would move closer, and I'm not sure if I'd ever see it coming.